After more than 21 years since its first release, the original Talking Tom 3D model has finally been found. But before we get to the good bits, let's take a look on how this whole thing even happened. On January 31st, 2004, a relatively unknown 3D artist named Andrei Kravchenko published a 3D model by the name of cat_cartoon, priced at $90. This wasn't a super big deal for him as he had posted tons of 3D models before. The models made a few sales but didn't really capture a lot of attention. That was until 2010, when a man by the name of Samo Login was looking to make the next big game in the infancy of his company. He invested $250,000 to open up an office in Slovenia and was really hoping this company would work out and turn a profit. He had made a couple of attempts to make a viral game before, but he was met with mediocre results. That was until he finally found out what was going to multiply his original investment by thousands of times. He came across the 3D model on a website called TurboSquid, which is an online marketplace where people can buy and sell 3D models. It immediately caught his attention and he decided he was going to use it for his next game, Talking Tomcat. After a few weeks, the first version of the game was created and released. Tom could copy what you said, play some cool animations, and react to your touches. And at the time, that was all you needed to be called innovative in the mobile game space. The game was an overnight success with millions of kids installing the app to play with Tom. Samo and his wife Lisa were over the moon. They had finally done it and created the new biggest mobile game, and they were topping the charts. But they had one concern, one massive glooming concern, and that concern was copycats. Literally. They didn't want people to make games similar to theirs, and since the model they used in the game was publicly available and allowed commercial use, anyone could just buy the model and use it in their game as well, completely within their rights. So Samo had to act fast. He contacted the original creator of the model, Andrei Kravchenko, and told him to take down the model from TurboSquid and any other online marketplaces it may have been available on. But he didn't make this demand for free, however. Oh no. He compensated Andrei by giving him a job at Outfit 7 to create the 3D models for a bunch of their characters. At his new job with Outfit 7, he went on to create the 3D models for Talking Santa, Talking Ben, the Talking Tomcat 2 redesign, Talking Ginger, Talking Pierre, and Talking Angela. This man literally carried the entire franchise on his shoulders, creating the models for almost every memorable character. At this point in time, by 2011, the model was completely gone from TurboSquid with pretty much no trace of it available anywhere, apart from the archived TurboSquid page on the Wayback Machine, which did give us a lot of insight on how many people bought the model when it was released and pictures of it in its description, but it didn't really help us in finding the model. Andrei still has a TurboSquid page to this day, but there are no Outfit 7 related models on it, only what seemed to be personal projects that he worked on outside of his usual work. It wasn't until a few years later, when people found out that Outfit 7 had actually bought the model and didn't create it themselves, that they finally realized that they could actually find the model, and so the search for the model finally began, only to end shortly after. You see, there were no leads, no hints, and pretty much no information whatsoever that was available on where the model could possibly be. It seemed that Outfit 7 had done a pretty good job of erasing any hint of the model on the internet. The only way to find the model at this point was to find someone who had bought the model back between 2004 and 2010, and who still had it to this day, which was going to be quite challenging. People found instances where other companies had bought and used the 3D model. Some examples being a French company who created a character called Leo Le Chat, which was just a recolored version of the model, and an Argentinian candy company called Flimpaf, which used the model in their commercial.
Me encantan los caramelos Flimpaf. ¿Quieres uno? Pero si es un chicle. No, es un caramelo. Es un chicle. Es un caramelo. Trágalo y verás. Tienes razón. Es un caramelo. Pero odio que me ganes.
Flimpaf, el caramelo masticable con sabor a chicle globo.
While these were known uses of the model, the people behind these videos were extremely hard to get a hold of due to geographical differences and because of the fact that these videos were re-uploaded from other sources, so we couldn't possibly know who the original poster was. These videos weren't gonna cut it. We needed someone who used the model and who was not a large company, bought and used the 3D model themselves, still has an online presence to this day, and actually has the model saved somewhere. And that is exactly what we found. Someone named Daniel messaged me on Discord sending me a link to a video from a channel called Addy Gamer. The video they sent me was a 17-year-old animation that is still up on YouTube to this day. It featured the Talking Tom 3D model in a telephone company ad.
OnYourCall.co.uk, an easy way to call anywhere in India, Pakistan and Bangladesh by dialing 0844 731 0044 for only 4 pence per minute. Don't forget yaar, only 4 pence per minute.
Upon checking their channel, I realized that there were a lot more videos using the model on the channel. I thought to myself, this could be the lead we're looking for. And when I scrolled all the way to the top of their channel, I realized that their most recent video was from about 1 year ago, which was recent enough to tell us that Addy Gamer still had access to this channel. I made a video about the animations that were found, and attention began flooding to Addy's videos. The videos went from a few hundred views each to millions. This was what we needed to get Addy's attention, and Addy's attention is what we got. Addy not only appreciated the attention and curiosity that people had for the model, but he also agreed to start helping us in looking for the model. As it turns out, Addy has been doing this animation thing for a long time, and he made it a habit to archive most of his work. So now it was just time for searching. Wait a minute. Is that 51 hard drives? Okay, it turns out that over the last 20 years, Addy has archived a lot of his work. So there's definitely a lot to get through, but I'm sure he'll get through it. And I guess it's just time for us to wait for him to do his magic. Over the next couple of months, Addy would post update videos of his search, coming close to finding the model a couple of times but being met with corrupted files or having the model missing from the animations. This was to be expected though, since the hard drives were so old. And after a few more months of searching, he finally did it. He found the hard drive that had the model on it, and he posted a video saying that he had finally found the model. But unfortunately, this model was unrigged and untextured, and while it was the actual model, we had to wait a little longer for the textures to be found. In this time period, Addy created a Discord server where he gave us updates on the search, and not too long after, on June 8th, 2025, the texture for the 3D model was finally found. This is the texture that was used in the original 2010 Talking Tom game in all of its glory. And this is the model fully textured in Blender. This was one of the biggest finds out of every Talking Tom related lost media, and it's honestly kind of crazy that it was found. The rig for the model has not been found as of making this video, but it was honestly such a simplistic rig that I'm sure it can be recreated one-to-one, and it's really not that big of a deal. I'm not that mad that it still hasn't been found. I'm really glad that the model was finally found, and I also want to give a special thanks to Addy Gamer and Daniel SWF for making this happen. And also a special thanks to XD Honey for sending me the Blender version of the model on Discord. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this search and the fact that the model was finally found. A like and sub would be truly appreciated, and also comment down below what topic you'd like me to cover next. See ya!